AOC says so many people in this country hate women. Oh, geez. Even the guy at the party who pulls out a guitar is like, way to ruin the fun. You don't really love America if you hate half the people in it. And also, if you hate a lot of the things that everybody always loved about it. There's an oft-repeated moment in political debates where the moderator says to the two candidates, say something nice about your opponent.
Since AOC started gaining buzz as the Democrats' rising star for 2028, Bill Maher has been sounding the alarm louder than ever. He did the same in 2024 when the DNC backed Kamala Harris, ignored then, and we all saw how that played out. Now he's back, pointing out the cracks in their new favorite candidate. Maher is practically pleading with the left not to repeat past mistakes. If you're here for straight-shooting political commentary, hit subscribe and let's get into it. A few weeks back, we showed you this clip.
What do you think of the fact that the people who are getting the big crowds right now are AOC and Bernie Sanders? They're going around the country. Thank you, there's that same guy. I call him the always wrong guy. Okay, but I feel like, big crowds, again, the shiny object that the Democrats chase. It's not about the big crowds that come out to you when you're talking in a festival or wherever they are. I think it's because I think Bernie showed up at Coachella. That must have been fun for the fans. It's who shows up on Election Day. And I just don't see that's the ticket. I mean, Cory Booker, I know you've worked with him. I like Cory a lot from my home state of New Jersey. Made a speech for 25 hours. Again, just whacking each other off. This is just not what's going to get the job done.
Things took an unexpected turn. Instead of stepping up, AOC has raised eyebrows with a series of confusing media appearances. From questionable economic views to puzzling policy comments, she sparked more doubt than confidence. If this is who Democrats are putting forward for 2028, they may want to reassess, because with every interview, more voters are asking, is this really their strongest option? Next, Voice 3. This is exactly why voices like Bill Maher have been raising concerns about AOC. Behind the headlines and social media buzz, there's often a lack of depth in her approach. She tends to equate passion with leadership, but there's little in the way of clear strategy or substance. Maher sees the warning signs. If Democrats place their 2028 hopes on AOC, they may be setting themselves up for serious disappointment.
Employment is low because everyone has two jobs. Unemployment is low because people are working 60, 70, 80 hours a week and can barely feed their kids.
Everybody's an idiot except for me.
Capitalism has not always existed in the world, and it will not always exist in the world. When this country
It is the system that, unlike all the others, has lifted more people out of poverty over the course of human history than any other system.
Well, so I think that those things that you talk about, that you discuss, are part of the course of human evolution. Yes, but I also think that what people are starting to see, at least in the occupation of Palestine, is just an increasing crisis of humanitarian condition.
Democrats are quickly losing support as many in their base grow frustrated with the party's focus on divisive identity politics. President Biden's term ended with uncertainty and unmet expectations, while Vice President Harris struggled to connect with voters. AOC continues to push talking points that don't resonate with middle America, and for those hoping Newsom or Walz will turn things around, their records have raised more concerns than confidence. Even longtime Democrats are starting to drift, leaning toward centrists, independents, or simply staying home. The issue isn't just about who's in charge. It's about an agenda that feels disconnected from everyday economic and public safety concerns.
At an AOC Bernie Sanders rally in Idaho last month, someone threw a Palestinian flag over an American flag, and the crowd erupted in approval. What should have happened after that is one of the adults on stage should have told their young, loyal followers, this is not a symbol of freedom. This is. This is a serious problem for Democrats. Less than 1 in 4 Democrats under 30 say they're proud to be an American. 54% say they're embarrassed by it. Embarrassed? Like America's your mom picking you up at school? You're embarrassed to be an American? Well, guess what? The feeling's mutual. Because you have no perspective. Is America perfect? No, of course not. No country is.
We'll get to Bill Maher's full argument in a moment, But first, let's look at what he's highlighting: a growing disconnect between the progressive wing of the Democratic Party and everyday Americans. Maher doesn't hold back. He critiques their performative outrage, fixation on identity politics, and tendency to dismiss patriotism. In their view, anything tied to Trump is automatically bad, even if the policy might benefit the country, whether it's tax relief, border management, or energy policy. Maher argues this mindset isn't just counterproductive, it's pushing voters away. Instead of debating ideas, the left risks isolating those who still believe in common ground values.
Don't really love America if you hate half the people in it. And also if you hate a lot of the things that everybody always loved about it. There's an oft-repeated moment in political debates where the moderator says to the two candidates, say something nice about your opponent.
Sometimes I open Twitter, scroll for a minute, and log right back out. The level of negativity toward America is overwhelming. A wave of criticism, often led by younger voices, paints the country as beyond redemption. They attack its history, values, and even the flag, ignoring the freedoms and opportunities that allow them to speak so openly. I've traveled to other countries, and few come close in terms of liberty, opportunity, or quality of life. Still, some seem to believe it's bold or meaningful to constantly criticize their own country. But often, it feels less like courage and more like misplaced frustration.
All the talk about fighting for the soul of America, nobody seems to like it very much. Too many liberals give the impression that to them, America's just a big, ugh. The red, white, and ew. A country that started out bad and will always be bad, founded on an unrelenting history of sucking and unable to change. But we have changed a lot. Democrat Cori Bush tweeted, "This land is stolen land and black people still aren't free." And this was on the 4th of July. Really? Not that I give a shit about the 4th of July. I've never been a rah-rah guy. But I am a perspective guy. And that's what too much of the left has lost, perspective.
To those who begin every event with a land acknowledgement, saying, "I'm standing on land once inhabited by the Chumash tribe," the question remains, what's actually being done to honor that history beyond the words? Then there's the scripted activism we see from figures like AOC. Much of her public image feels more like performance than leadership. She presents herself as a working-class champion, but her background tells a different story. Raised in a well-off area and using a more casual name in the past, her personal narrative doesn't quite match the image she promotes. The bartending story? Relatable, yes, but not uncommon. Many students work service jobs. Rather than being a symbol of struggle, it's a familiar part of growing up. What we're seeing isn't raw authenticity, it's calculated branding, and voters are beginning to catch on.
72% of black people under 30 are optimistic about their future in America. Way more than white people the same age. And as far as the land goes, yes, I guess we could change the name of Captain America to Captain Stolen Land. But honestly, to all the people who start every public event now with one of those land acknowledgements where they say, "I'm standing on land that was stolen from the proud indigenous people of the Chumash tribe," I say either give it back or shut the fuck up.
When you compare the freedoms women enjoy in America to many other parts of the world, the difference is striking. Here, women can vote, own property, pursue any career, speak freely, and live independently. They can lead businesses, run for office, and shape their own futures, all without needing approval from anyone. In many places globally, those rights are still restricted or denied entirely. Yet some voices, like AOC's, argue that America is fundamentally hostile to women simply for not adopting every aspect of modern gender ideology. But disagreement isn't oppression. Rejecting extremes isn't hate. The truth is, America remains one of the freest and most empowering countries for women anywhere.
AOC says so many people in this country hate women. Oh, geez. Even the guy at the party who pulls out a guitar is like, way to ruin the fun.
The constant criticism of capitalism often ignores reality. It's the system that helped build one of the most prosperous and innovative nations on Earth. While socialism and communism may sound appealing in theory, with ideas of shared wealth and equality, in practice, they've repeatedly failed. Countries like Venezuela, Cuba, and the former Soviet Union had potential, but were ultimately held back by centralized control and stifled ambition. Many flee those systems in search of opportunity, often aiming for America. That speaks volumes. Capitalism isn't perfect, but it encourages hard work, innovation, and progress. Rather than chasing utopian ideals, we should focus on systems that actually deliver results.
Congressman Jamal Bowman says capitalism is slavery by another name. No, it's not. It's the thing that has given more people more prosperity and hope than any other system, flawed though it surely is.
Immigrants know better than most how tough life can be outside of America. That's why so many risk everything, enduring dangerous journeys and hardships, not for handouts, but for a chance at freedom and opportunity. If America were truly the bleak place some critics claim, why do people from around the world still fight to get here? The answer is simple. Despite its flaws, America remains a symbol of hope. Immigrants aren't chasing ideology. They're pursuing the American dream. They know the value of freedom, which is why it's often frustrating to hear privileged voices criticize the very system that gave them success. While America isn't perfect, it still offers more liberty and opportunity than most places on Earth. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. See you next time.
Again, something like the free market is kind of synonymous with America. And if you don't like it, I don't know how you can say you love this country. You know who loves this country? You know who's not constantly complaining about what happened 200 years ago and who's not obsessed with seeing America through shit-colored glasses and shaking off the stench of what irredeemable, privileged assholes we are? Immigrants.